Hello, my name is Wyn Morgan and I'm the Director of Teaching and Learning here at the University of Nottingham. I'd like to spend a few minutes introducing you to Xerte online toolkits.
While many academics are very interested in the development of online learning materials, they do find it difficult and perhaps a bit daunting. And the whole purpose of Xerte was to make it easy, to make it straightforward and make e-learning materials accessible to a much broader community.
Until recently, many academic colleagues were quite confused by the array of technologies available to them to engage with e-learning. And in particular, they found some of the jargon quite confusing and some of the software choices quite bewildering.
The template-driven nature of them allows you lots of different ways of putting together the pedagogy, and it releases teachers to do what they do well without having to worry about the technology side.
For me, the tools are good because they allow me to work on the material when I want to and in the way I want to.
The thing I really love about Xerte, from my own experience, is that I can share the production of a learning object with somebody else.
From the kind of plain pages to through the range of interactive pages, through to the kind of rich media content and dynamic content. I think teachers and potentially learners are really finding it a powerful tool.
Working to remove technical barriers and to ensure that the new tools are easy to use has developed a whole range of skills and competencies among academic staff. And as a consequence, we're building a real community of practice here.
The Xerte Toolkit tools are developing a community at Kingston College among the teachers because fundamentally, once something's created, it can be shared.
I'm seeing across sector organisations wanting to adopt Xerte. So I'm talking offender learning, adult and community learning, FE colleges, voluntary and community organisations. They can all see a real use for producing learning objects that they can then use with learners.
There's a huge opportunity to learn about the process of creating materials and about delivering materials online. And on top of that, there's an opportunity for us to learn more about what our colleagues do and therefore enhance our own understanding of the world around us.
The Xerte Learning Toolkit is certainly having an impact on our information learning technology strategy, which feeds into our organisational strategy, in as much as we are increasingly needing to find ways of effectively blending learning.
Throughout the development, the Xerte project team has been working closely with GIST TechDis, a leading advisory agency on inclusion and access for the post-16 sector.
One of the things that I do when I'm working with commercial developers is I say to them, have a look at what Xerte does. Now, if your tools can't match that, why should people buy your materials and buy into your systems? So I would say that the tools are really raising the benchmark.
I think that Xerte introduces the accessibility options that don't automatically become available with other Flash learning objects.
Learners benefit because they have tools that they can operate in a range of different ways, and they can view different colours, magnifications, text-to-speech, really widely accessible.
It's made it much easier for me to produce learning objects that are accessible, especially for those with learning disabilities.
But I would say that the tutors also benefit because it's easy for them to create dynamic, exciting, and above all, engaging, inclusive learning materials.
The use of technology is very new for many academic colleagues, and Xerte Online Toolkits has provided them with the chance to develop skills that will allow them to get over the barriers that they face and help them create exciting and engaging e-learning content for their students.
The tools have been really well designed, so there's a range of very different types of pedagogical approach, and they can be put together in different ways.
The potential of the tools is allowing the new types of media and teaching, and allows me to teach in a different way than I would have done within the lectures.
I think the main impact the tools are having at Nottingham is that they're making it possible for ordinary members of staff like myself to make good quality online learning material.
We are getting a pretty favourable response from most of them. They like it, it's useful, it works for them, and they're comfortable with it.
Xerte Online Toolkits plays a prominent part in the university's strategy to get more of its teaching and learning materials online for students to engage with, and also to help reduce the barriers to staff engaging with creating e-learning.
Xerte is really easy to learn. As a staff member, I found it very easy to pick up and use.
Personally, I found it very easy to learn to use the tools. I think if you can use a browser and fill in a form, you can use toolkits.
For me, one of the most exciting things about the tools is the ability for ordinary teachers with very little technical expertise to create something that looks great and performs brilliantly.